We are back again for our meal in mathematics. Mathematics Meal is a special program designed to help students in the study of mathematics. We give you different meals in mathematics through Mathematics Meal so that you'll be healthy. We want your mathematical bone to be strong, your mathematical flesh to be strong, your mathematical teeth to be strong, and your mathematical eyes to be all right. There are people that are blind in mathematics because they have not taken enough meal that can actually make their eyes in mathematics to be healthy. There are people that cannot hear properly as far as mathematics is concerned because they have not taken enough meal in mathematics that will make their ears to be very sensitive to mathematical sound. There are people that cannot speak very well mathematically because there is no meal that will help them speak properly mathematically that they have actually come across. Many people are not working properly mathematically. Oh yes, when you see their movement as far as mathematics is concerned, you will notice that they are deficient mathematically. So why we have Mathematics Meal is to make sure that we feed you from all rounds so that your hands, your legs, your eyes, your ears, your nose, all of them will be mathematically transformed. So that even when you breathe in mathematical oxygen. Don't mind me. We have been on plane geometry so far as Mathematics Meal is concerned. We have looked at plane geometry 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, and 1E. We started with lines and angles, and we have actually looked at the relationship between lines and angles, and we saw various relationships that exist between lines and angles. And we decided also to look at some important points that will enable us solve problems as far as angles on lines are concerned. And we have been able to solve few problems on that. But today we want to expose the students more. We want to expose you to more questions so that you will now know that there are a variety of questions that can actually come up as far as angles on lines are concerned. I still remember your friend, Engineer Ike Okechukwu, and I believe that you are going to enjoy this class with me. So without taking much time, let's begin our journey for the day. We have a lot of questions that we are going to handle. Make sure you stay away from every form of distraction. Anything that will distract you, stay away from it. And then get your writing materials ready. Get everything that you need that will make this study effective and efficient. Make sure that they are available. You can also invite your friend to join you because it is not good to eat alone. This is Mathematics Meal. Don't eat it alone. All right, let's look at more questions. So we can say, remember, we are still on plane geometry, part 1 of it. So I'll find the value. Find the lettered angle in the figures below. Okay, that has been our business. So let's take our equation on that. If I have this and I have that, and I have C, I have E, and I have D, and here is 65 degrees. All right. We said there are valid arguments, there are valid points that relate lines and angles. We say that one of those points is sum of adjacent angles on a straight line is 180. We also say that sum of angles at a point is 360. We also say that using intersecting lines, vertically opposite angles are equal. And then using parallel lines and transversal line, we say that corresponding angles are equal, and also alternate angles are what? Are equal. They are equal. They are equal. So we have this. Now if we look at this, how will I find this? We say that whenever we want to solve a problem concerning lines and angles, one of the things we must establish is the relationship between the given angle and the unknown angle or angles. So we must be able to look for a valid relationship between the given angle, that's the angle that we know, and the ones or the one that we don't know. So in this figure now, we know angle 65. We don't know angle C. We don't know angle D. We don't know angle what? E. So my interest will be, how will I relate 65 and C in order to find C? How will I relate 65 and D in order to find D? Is it possible to relate 65 and E in order to find E? So all you need to look at is to study the shape, the figure very well. These are lines. And then you now begin to think of those relationships that exist between lines and angles. Now, if we look at this, we cannot be talking about corresponding angles. That's a fact. That's just the truth. We cannot talk about that. Why? Because we don't have parallel lines and transversal lines. So we take away corresponding angle from our mind. We take away alternate angles from our mind. We cannot go there because this line it doesn't contain parallel lines. Okay, we now look again. We can say this angle at a point. Yes, beautiful. And someone is happy. We can add this, add this, add this, add this. Sum of angles at a point is 360. But why should I do that? When I don't even know this, I don't know this, I don't know this. So if I say 65 plus C plus D plus E is 360 degrees, sum of angles at a point, I will end up finding C plus D plus E. But they say find C, find D, find E. So you see, it will be erroneous for me to just, it will be a problem. Not that it's erroneous anyway, this is correct, but it will be a problem trying to solve this equation, trying to find C, D, and E by using this immediately. It will be an issue. So I will not go for that now. So what am I going to do? What am I expected to do? There are other valid points. Vertically opposite angle. We say that when we have intersecting lines. So do I have intersecting lines here? Yes, I have intersecting line. Okay, that's intersecting line is there. Do I have a straight line? Yes, this is a straight line. This is also a straight line. Beautiful. So if I can use straight line. These two angles are on a straight line, but I don't know any of them, so I cannot be saying C plus D equals 180. I will not be able to find C. I will not be able to find D. Then if I look at this, D and E are also on what? On a straight line. If I say D plus E, I will not be able to find what? I will not be able to find D, and I will not find E. But you look at this, C and 65, they are on a straight line. Look at this straight line. So they are on this straight line. So I can use this to find C, right? Okay. I can still find D immediately because we have intersecting lines. So this angle and this angle are vertically opposite. So let's find out first. I can comfortably say in my solution that D is 65 degrees. Why? D is 65 degrees. Why? They are vertically opposite angles. And we say that vertically opposite angles are what? Are equal. So you see, I have found D. Then I can now easily use angle on a straight line to find C. Look at it. Look at it. D and C, and C and the 65 are on a straight line. So I can easily say that, let me solve it here. C plus 65 is 180 degrees. Reason, sum of adjacent angles on a straight line. Sum of adjacent angles on a straight line. So quickly, C becomes 180 minus 65. So C will give me 180 minus 65 is 150. And then if I have found C, I can find E. Because C and E are vertically opposite again. Or I can still use D, 65 and E. This is a straight line. You look at this. This is another straight line. So 65 and E are angles on a straight line. So I can say E plus 65 equals 180 angles on a straight line. But since this and this are vertically opposite angles, I can equally say that E is equal to C, which is 115 degrees. Reason they are vertically opposite angles. They are vertically opposite angles. Or someone can still say that D plus E is 180 angles on a straight line. 180. D plus E. And if that is the case, we have found D already to be what? 65 plus E was 180. So E becomes 180 minus 65. E will give us 150. So you see that. So knowing these principles will help you not to fall into any problem while trying to solve problems involving lines and angles. So we take one more. Have to take another one. So we have this, we have that, we have that. And we are given F. We are given 120. We are also given 150 degrees. For us to find F. Okay? Now if we look at this, it's a line, it's a line. Okay? So we want to get F. Now, no parallel line, no transversal line. So corresponding angles and alternate angles, gone. Now we don't have intersecting line, no line crossing each other like we have here. So we cannot be talking about vertically opposite angle. Now we don't have any straight line, because this line would have been straight if it continued from here. This one would have been straight if it continued. The same thing with this, but this moves like this. So even if I draw something, it will not end on this line. It will not end on this line. So, but we have a point. Angle at a point. So that's what will be valid here. Very simple. So we can easily say in the solution F plus 120 plus 150 will give us what? 360. Reason, sum of angles at a point. You still remember that this is short form of angles, right? We said it in one of our videos. So F now, 120 plus this will give us 270 plus 360. Now you know geometry just ended. This is just ordinary equation in mathematics. So F now becomes 360 minus 270. And then F will give us what? 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Okay? So knowing the particular valid relationship to use matters so much. That's why you must master the principles behind those valid relationships that we treated in our previous videos. So you need to watch those videos to actually understand those valid relationships. Remember, apart from those valid relationships, you cannot actually connect the known angle and the unknown angle. You discover that what I'm searching for is what's the relationship between F and these two known angles. What's the relationship between this given angle and these ones? So you must get a relationship that exists between the known angle and the unknown angles. Very important. Very, very important. Okay. We'll have to take one more. Again. Now this. Now this. And we are looking for the lettered angle. We are looking for G here. G in degrees also. It's an angle. We are looking for G here. Now, we don't have a straight line. This line is not straight. Look at from here to there. We didn't continue. No straight line. No parallel line. No transversal line. No intersecting line. So, the only thing remaining now is angle at a point, which is a valid point. A valid relationship. So, we can quickly say that G plus 90 plus 30 plus what? 100 will give me 360 degrees. Reason, sum of angles at a point. Sum of angles at a point. So 90 plus this is 120. 120 plus 100 will give us what? 220 plus 360. So what will be G now? 360 minus 220. That's what it will be. So G becomes 140 degrees. Okay. We need to go for a short break. But before we go for that break, there is need for you to pick 2 questions that you're going to solve. And when we return from the break, we do the correction to the questions and then we continue. Oh yes, we need to continue. All right, quickly. Quickly. We call it takeaway questions. Just solve 3. Let's give you a takeaway question. So take away question. Take it away. But make sure you solve it by yourself. Find the lettered angles in the figures below. Find the lettered angles in the figures below. 1, we have I, we have J, we have 38, we have 125, then 2, we have that, we have 120 degrees, we have K, we have 140 degrees. And number 3, let's see what we have to write. Number 3, I saw 3, I have to give you 2. So we saw 3 to give you 3, and we'll do that very well. We have H, we have M, we have N, we have 100, and we have 33. Okay. Make it a straight line. Everything. Okay. And okay. All right. Quickly solve these 3 questions. And when we return, we are going to do a correction on them. Remember, there is need for you to solve as many problems as possible because mathematics becomes clearer the more you solve questions in mathematics. Make out time to solve variety of questions in plain geometry 1, and you will thank me later. Thank you, and God bless you.